After that, you know what happened, the entire Indians were very angry, and in the same year what happened, uh, the particular 1918 World War One over, no? Remember, World War One started in 1914 and it was over in 1918, and whatever treaties, agreement took place, that took place in 1919. So in 1919, one country was there which was known as Ottoman Empire, है ना? So Ottoman Empire lost the World War One, and that is why Britishers has imposed penalty over Ottoman Empire, that the Khalifa, the leader of the Ottoman Empire, will be removed from his post. Okay, no problem, he will be removed. But the problem was, the Khalifa was not only the political leader of the Ottoman Empire, but he was also the religious head of not only the Ottoman Empire, that is today it is known as Turkey, but it was the religious head of the entire Islamic world. So once he was removed from his post now, then the entire Muslim from the entire world was very angry on the Britishers. Okay, so that particular one episode of the Ottoman Empire Khalifa was taken as an opportunity by Gandhiji. As you all know, Gandhiji was an advocate by profession and he was having very sharp brain. So he looked it as an opportunity to unite both Hindu, Muslim as well as other communities together, because as you all know, because of Jallianwala Bagh massacre, the entire nation was very upset. And when this Khalifa episode took place, so Muslims also became very angry on the Britishers. So that is why the Gandhiji as well as two Muslim brothers were there, who was known as Muhammad Ali and Shaukat Ali. They both have combined together, and they thought to start one movement which will be known as Khilafat movement, है ना? So Khilafat movement will be against the decision by Britishers to remove Khalifa from their post. Okay, so I hope this Khilafat movement is clear to all of you. After that, now you come in 1920. Fine. So in 1920, what happened, that the month was of September. Okay. So September month was going on, and in this September month, where the Calcutta session was there of Indian National Congress in the September 1920, in which for the first time it was decided that there should be one movement where we can launch this Khilafat movement as well as this non-cooperation movement. Okay, how this non-cooperation movement idea came? So this non-cooperation movement idea came from the Gandhi's one book was there. Mahatma Gandhi has written one book in 1909 which was known as Hindu Swaraj. Remember, na? Hindu Swaraj has been written by Gandhiji in which year? 1909. Okay, so Gandhiji has written one book which was known as Hindu Swaraj, in which he has said that we are under the control of British government. Why? Because we are giving them cooperation, we are giving them support. The day when we will withdraw our support and cooperation, they can not rule over us more than 1 year, and they have to leave our country within 1 year. Fine. So Gandhiji has given success mantra that how we can get rid of the Britishers. The success mantra is, don't give them any support, don't give them any cooperation. So that is why for the first time in India in 1920 September in Calcutta session, they have decided, means they have just discussed that we should start non-cooperation movement and this Khilafat movement together. And finally in 1920, that is the Nagpur session of December in the month December, they have conducted Nagpur session in 1920 December, where officially they have decided that they will go for non-cooperation movement plus Khilafat movement, है ना? So finally when it is started, this decision has been taken place December 1920, and it is started from January 1921. Okay, so remember this non-cooperation movement started from 1921 and it will be there to 1922. Non-cooperation movement, I am telling to you all. Okay, so I hope this is clear to everyone. Now here in this non-cooperation movement, we will not give them any cooperation, we will boycott everything. We will boycott their clothes, we will boycott their products, we will boycott everything what things belong to Britishers, and we will also boycott their elections. So when we were willing to boycott elections now, so some members within the Congress were not agree to boycott elections because they wanted that we should fight election. After fighting election, we should come into the power, and after coming power, we should protest against the Britishers with more powerful voice. So they were thinking like that. but ultimately all people have decided together that they will boycott election also, है ना. There is only one political party who has not boycotted election in India, which was called as Madras Party, है ना. Madras one party was there which was called as, you know, Justice Party. And the Justice Party is the party of non-Brahmins, and Justice Party was thinking that throughout the past, throughout the present, you know, all the time Brahmins were in power, and this is high time that when they have boycotted the election, we should fight the election and we should come into the power, you know. So that is why they have they have participated in the election, and it was a single party. So you must remember, this question also comes that which party participated in the election during the non-cooperation movement. So party name is Justice Party, from which place? Madras. Okay, so I hope you will remember this. And now let's talk about the non-cooperation movement. So beta, this non-cooperation movement, you can see this from multiple angle, like how this non-cooperation movement taken in countryside, how this has taken in urban areas, how this has taken in tribal areas, and how this has taken in plantation sites, you know. So one by one I'll explain you everything, you please watch it. So first of all, we'll start from the which place? We will start from the urban areas. Okay, so let's start from the urban areas. So in urban areas, teachers have stopped going to the universities, schools, colleges, and students have also boycotted universities, schools and colleges, you know. Apart from that, we have a number of other professionals like advocates. They have also stopped practicing in the courts and judiciary. Apart from that, so many other professionals were there. They have also boycotted their particular job, the government job. They have boycotted. So many people were there who have boycotted their titles also. So in this way, people were protesting in the urban areas, and in urban areas they have also boycotted the foreign goods, and they have also burned the foreign goods in huge bonfire. And that is all the response which was coming from the urban areas. Fine. And since we have boycotted the foreign goods, it was giving huge economic loss to the Britishers. The study shows that almost 50% of the import has been reduced from the Britain. You can understand, 50%. Suppose if you were importing 100 crore rupees of product, then it came down to 50 crore rupees. So that type of effect we have given to the Britishers, economic loss we have given to the Britishers, which was the big victory for Indians, है ना. After that, I'll tell you about the countryside. So in countryside, in village areas, the main enemy was not Britishers directly, because in a countryside, you all know, the farmers are basically living, the peasants are living. So basically these peasants were also divided in two parts, the rich peasants, the poor peasants, So the poor peasants were exploited a lot by the rich peasants, by the zamindars, by the moneylenders, and that is why for small and for poor peasants now, the biggest enemy was those the big landlords, the big farmers, and the moneylenders. They were the big enemies for small peasants, poor peasants. Okay, so one very big name was there in this particular area, which was known as Baba Ramchandra. So Baba Ramchandra has organized the entire movement of the peasants, as well as in 1920 he has also formed one very important organization which is called as Awadh Kisan Sabha. And this Awadh Kisan Sabha has been started and has been formed by the Baba Ramchandra with the help of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru. So this you must remember, this also comes, that is Awadh Kisan Sabha. Okay. Apart from that, I should also tell you one thing, that in this particular movement now, Nai and Dhobi have also given great support, because Nai and Dhobi, Nai means what? The barber, and Dhobi means washerman. So Nai and Dhobi, these communities have also given great support to this entire movement, and they have said that they will not give their services to the landlords, to the moneylenders, and to the rich peasants. So these you must remember about the countryside. In countryside now, sometimes people were becoming violent, and sometimes they were attacking to the houses of moneylenders, to the houses of big zamindars. because you imagine they were not having even a single paisa in their pocket. So what they will do, they were not having anything to eat. So ultimately they were attacking to the market, they were attacking to the houses of big landlords and rich peasants, which was sometimes turning violent also. So in 1921 especially, I should tell you, in 1921 peasants, the small peasants, poor peasants have attacked the market, and they have looted the market, and they have distributed all the things among themselves, है ना? So this type of things were visible in the countryside. Now we'll discuss about the tribal areas. So you all know in class 9th also you have read about the tribals in chapter number 4 of history, class 9th, that Britishers, when they came in India, they have made a number of laws under which they have indirectly, directly removed tribals from their home, that is forest, they have brought Forest Act, they have brought a number of other laws through which now these tribal people cannot use the forest resources easily. They cannot live in the forest very easily. They cannot use the forest land for the pasture purpose, for the grazing purpose, for their animals. So that is why tribals were very angry with the Britishers, and they were considering Britishers as Dikus, Daku, this type of title they have given to the Britishers. And one such great personality was there from the Andhra Pradesh region, from the Godem Hills, which was known as Alluri Sitaram Raju. You always remember his name, Alluri Sitaram Raju. Alluri Sitaram Raju was master in guerrilla warfare technique. Guerrilla warfare technique doesn't mean that you will bring gorilla and you will attack on the Britishers with the gorilla. No. What is the meaning of guerrilla warfare technique? That you will hide yourself under the ambush. Ambush means the hidden jhadiyan under which you will hide yourself. So within this ambush, you will hide yourself, and when the Britishers are coming now, suddenly with full force, with full speed, you are attacking on the Britishers, so that they will not get even a single second, and within a short period of time you will attack on them and you will finish their chapter. Fine. So this type of technique is known as guerrilla warfare technique, and Alluri Sitaram Raju was master on it, and he was practicing this particular technique in Godem Hills. So I hope you remember. Alluri Sitaram Raju was respecting a lot Gandhiji. He was very much agree with the Gandhiji's thought of boycotting the British goods, but he was disagree with Gandhiji on one point, that Gandhiji was the believer in non-violence, whereas the Alluri Sitaram Raju was thinking that violence is the path to achieve the independence. So these two ideologies were there, but their target was same, that is freedom. I hope this is clear from the tribal areas.